So 3 of them, I'm just recording now. So 3 of them are disqualified. You have 2 left. Why were they disqualified?
2 of them have white hairs on them.
Where? Approximately.
One's got white hairs in her tail, other's got white hairs on her stomach. Another has, well, actually one does, and one has warts on her side, and one has a blemish in her eye. Now she could heal over that too, but so there's 3 possibles qualified, and 2 of them for sure are qualified right now.
Okay.
They're over 3 years old. They're 3 years old now.
All of them are over 3?
Basically, that's in the realm.
Okay.
They're different ages, but
Is there a maximum age?
no, there is not.
So they can be 6, 7 years old?
They could be. But they're, well, it's at least two. At least two. You know, there's a lot of things that's put into this Numbers 19 by the rabbis. They like to add things to things. Yeah. So there's a lot more questions that they have, hoops they got to jump through to be qualified to do the sacrifice. So we're standing here looking at these heifers, and we're seeing them as red heifers. They are for the purification ceremony. You're purified by the ashes of the red heifer. You read Numbers 19, the whole idea is it's not a sin sacrifice. It's a purification sacrifice. The rabbis tell us that the mikvah bath can purify everything except for touching a dead body, death. So, but that's where the red heifer, ashes of the red heifer come in to this. They can purify from everything. So we have them here. They haven't been here for 2,000 years. These are the first red heifers that's ever qualified in time. In the past, we've had some red heifers come, but they got red hairs on them, or white hairs and black hairs, and they got disqualified before they got old enough. Last year Passover, 2 of these girls were qualified to do the burning of the ashes. We don't really call it sacrifice because it's not the sacrifice that's the killing of the animal is valuable. But 2 of them were qualified to do this. They were scheduled to do it on the Mount of Olives on Passover.
Last year. 2024?
Yeah. When they had permission to do it. But the government, again, revokes the permits because of the fear of the war. The war and exciting the Arabs more. And so they withdrew the permits, and so they're still standing here. There is talk now, there's interest, and we don't talk about this too loudly.
So just so you know, I have a public website. Can I share that?
I would.
Okay, so I will blank that out.
I would.
Okay. I'm just
Put that part in.
Yeah.
There's an interest, I should say. We can say that there is an interest. Well, there's permits. Is it scheduled to be done? No, there's just an interest.
Is there a set time of year when that should be done? Is it Passover or Sukkot, or is it just any time is good time?
Well, there's not a time of year that's specified.
Okay.
There's not a time of year specified, but we look at what the Jewish people, the Israelis, want to do, and we're kind of using it as a guide to get this done. And you can take this to a lot of places.
Is there an interest because of the end of the war and needing to cleanse all the soldiers?
It's time in the feast. What the feasts mean? You guys understand the feast?
Yes.
Okay. It's in the feast meaning. The Passover lamb and all this kind of stuff. Think about it, folks. Use your minds to put this all together. You guys are Messianic, right?
Yeah.
Guys, think of it.
So sometimes we have this mental block. So help us out.
Let's see. Heifer's red.
Yeah.
What goes with the heifer? Numbers 19.
The hyssop in the wood. Is that what you're talking about?
Wood and a scarlet wool.
So that's a connection to
Wool,
Passover.
scarlet thread.
Okay.
Just put it all together for you.
And the scarlet thread is also connected to a Day of Atonement. Okay, keep going.
She's a complete deal. But see, in Jewish thought, and in the writings, is there's 9 red heifers been sacrificed. There are to be 10. There's to be 10 heifers sacrificed. So there's 1 to go. 9 have been done, 10 to go. Some people believe that we sacrifice the heifers now and to start the third temple, to build it and purify the priesthood for the third temple. Other thought is they're here for the Messiah's sake. That when Messiah comes, this is a predominant idea in Jewish thought, is when Messiah comes, he will sacrifice the 10th red heifer. And that we have it here for him when he comes. Because the Jewish people are expecting Messiah to come any time. It's time. The rabbis say everything says it's time. We're at the end of the 6th day. We're at the end of the 6th day, 6,000 years.
I just got goosebumps, man.
We're at the end of the 6th day. I mean, you take the Hebrew calendars. We're at 5,800 and or 5,783, I think. 84 now. And you had 210 years to that. Where are we at? We're almost at a completion of 6,000 years, 6 days. Okay? So everything's saying it's time for Messiah. It's time for Messiah. And so they're here for Messiah. If he comes, we have the red heifers here, and they would be for him to take and do the sacrifice with. So there's different thoughts. There's different schools of thought here, but they're here, and they're qualified, and they're at Shiloh. Now, let's talk about Shiloh. Now,
Before you move on, are there any more red heifers anywhere else that they're finding or looking for? Have they stopped looking?
Basically, yeah, because we have these here.
Okay.
They're thinking of breeding some of the ones that don't qualify right now. They're thinking of breeding them so that there's chaos for the future. So there's a lineage going on here.
Yeah.
The idea of Messiah, the idea of Messiah wanting, having a heifer to sacrifice when he comes.
What happens to the ones that are disqualified?
They're for breeding.
Just for breeding?
Yeah. They're trying to breed right now.
Okay, you wanted to go on to Shiloh?
Okay. Was there any more questions about these red heifers? We keep them here, we take care of them, we feed them, and they're in Shiloh. Now, what is Shiloh? It was an ancient Canaanite city. There's a spring out here that you find. There's water coming out of the ground. It's out here in this area. As you take a tour of this place, there's that. When the Israelites came here, they came here and crossed the Jordan, and they set up in Gilgal for 7 years. The Mishkan, the tabernacle. At that point, it came here to Shiloh. It was here for 369 years. I can say that fast, but can you imagine 369 years? That's longer than the United States has been in existence, by far.
Exactly what was said on the way here.
Yeah, it's a long time. And it was here during the period of the Judges and the Mishkan and all the things that were going on here. And then at the time of the kings, it moved to Jerusalem. And so the story of Shiloh here is it was basically uninhabited for a long time, a long period. In 1967, at the end of the Six-Day War, the people from Jerusalem, the Zionists, came here and restarted the city of Shiloh. So this is actually a city in the West Bank we call Samaria, and they're rebuilding ancient Shiloh. And it's a live, living city now. Basically, religious Zionist people live here. Moriah, who's the director of ancient Shiloh, her father was one of the original people who came here and started this. He was the first farmer to come here and restart the city that you see here, and build a synagogue and build all this. So they're in charge of this. So this is Shiloh, and there's a lot of interest in this. If you go back to our Where's the ambassador now to Israel from the United States? Shiloh is his favorite place in Israel. And he says that he comes here every time he comes to Israel, he comes to Shiloh. You think, out here in the middle of basically nowhere, why was this somebody like a pastor in the United States so interested in Shiloh?
What I saw 2 days ago.
What is about this place that is spurring our interest now? Why Shiloh is coming up lively? We have another thing that the defense minister that Trump nominated, Pete Hegseth, he's pro-temple, extremely pro-temple. He wants to see the temple built, the temple out in Jerusalem. That was why the left was so against it. When they found out that he actually did an interview there at Shavuot in 2018, and he stated that fact. And so there's a lot of interest in Shiloh, and the Red Heifers are here, and two of them are qualified.
I have one question. How did you guys get selected? How was it Red Heifers? How was that process?
Well, it's like I've been saying. There's something going on at Shiloh. Why they came here?
Safer the place than putting them in.
It is a sacred place. Other than Temple Mount, this is number one place of sacred in Israel. But it's not very much.
Do I have to edit that part out too?
I would.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Okay,
just,
yeah, just
for
I'm
your
asking, that's all.
There's thoughts on that, but Shiloh is a very special place, and it's being raised up. This is by observation. It's not by my theology. It's just by the observation. I came here a year ago to see the Red Heifers. I was actually involved with Leave Note, and we were down in Gaza, rebuilding Gaza from the damage, or the people around Gaza, the damage that was done in 1947. And so we came up here to Shiloh to see the Red Heifers. There was a need for them to be cared for. So I said, we prayed, and we volunteered. We said, do you need help with these girls?
That's awesome.
And they said, yes, we do. We desperately need help.
So do you live here? Do you live here now, or you
About half the time.
half the time?
Larry's living here all the time. He's the one who's feeding them every day. Tammy and I were providing the money, the food, and the bedding and everything for them. And we come here to help them too. So we're like you guys. We're Messianics, and we're very much accepted. We're allowed to care for them. They consider us Shah. We're living in the land. We're observant to the Torah and everything, and we get to be a part of them. And it's a very great privilege. And so we're here caring for them, and we provide for their affairs.
Okay, I'm afraid to turn this off. I don't want to turn it off. You got more to say.
Questions, thoughts.
See, they're all girls when you call them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, they got to be females. They can't ever be yoked. They can't have a tag in your ear. They can't ever done any work. We're not even supposed to touch them or do work with them. We touch them just for their care. That's all. We provide food for them. The food's here and everything. And Larry and I are both ex-dairy farmers. So we know how to care for cows. They didn't, and they do religious things. And we knew how to move, and so we're doing our best to care for them. And whatever the rabbis, Jewish people would like to do with them, we're here to be a part of that. Whatever they need, whatever they want.
So, thank you, Chuck, so very much. This was priceless. This was awesome. Thank you, and Jehovah bless you for what you're doing. We're excited.
Okay.
We're going.
Okay. to get the more in depth of what's going on right now, there is a excavation going on of the Indiana Jones style. We call him Vindel Jones. Larry and I are part of that group that were part of this. That looking for the ashes of the red heifer down by Qumran in those caves, following the copper scrolls, our treasure map. This is going to take place in March of this year.
Did the copper scrolls mention the ashes? I didn't know that.
It mentions that there's a treasure map. Yes.
I know the treasure map.
And treasure map, okay. And we're looking for the articles of the first temple period. They're looking in caves. We have permits to do it, and archaeologists to go along with it. That's one of the things that's going to be happening. Along with that, they might find the ashes of the red heifer. In the ashes of the red heifer sacrifice, there is supposed to be a lineage going on. The ones before, there's some ashes left over. That is to be put with the next red heifer. So there's a lineage from Moses all the way out. So one of the thoughts is that possibly we would find the ancient ashes of the red heifer that Moshe had hidden away for just such a time as this, to put with one of these girls at Passover in April. There's the possibility of this. I mean, there's so many possibilities of what God might want us to do and provide for. We don't know. But right now, they're preparing to do a red heifer sacrifice, or the ashes of the red heifer burning, without the succession, because they don't have them. But we might find them. There is that possibility. There's that event going to happen in March. But some interesting things about the ashes of the red heifer is that it has to be stored in a stone jar.
Mm-hmm.
And that the purification water. So when they take spring water, they call it living water, and they take it like from a spring, and they put in the jar, and they sprinkle in the red heifer ashes. And then that water, you use a sprinkling from that to
Cleanse the people.
put on the people, and that cleanses you from any death or anything if you touch the dead body. Makes you totally pure. So those things are important.
Okay.
So stone jars.
I'm busting out here.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you got more? Okay.